I'm kind of unsure. What do you guys do for a living?
We're content creators.
Yeah, content creators.
What type of content do you make? You do like makeup videos, gaming videos, what type of stuff?
We do Only Bros.
Only homies.
And what type of videos do you make on that?
Corn.
Right.
Yep.
Very evil.
Why do you think what we do is evil?
You know, I didn't know that I was gonna be sitting talking to a bunch of illiterate people who don't know how to read.
You're literally 15. What do you know?
You know how to read?
Yes, I do know how to read.
Name 10 books.
Are you serious?
Yes, 100%. Name 10 books.
Well, I read Game of Thrones. I'm obsessed with like the Twilight
book
series.
called?
Game of Thrones, the
Don't
series?
What's the book called? It's not called Game of Thrones. It's just trying to come up with a bunch of nonsense, and she can't name any actual books. 10 books.
You're changing the subject,
okay,
actually.
3 books.
Okay. Well, the Game of Thrones series,
It's not a book.
Twilight
I
series.
want the name
It
of
is
the
a book.
The book is called The Song of Ice and Fire. Now, before you embarrass yourself by looking up the name of a book, she couldn't even actually name a single book. She doesn't know how to read. She's clearly illiterate.
Have a girlfriend?
I don't.
Do you think I'm hot?
Not really.
Oh, why?
Way many more people attractive here than you.
What's not hot about me?
Your personality and your voice.
My voice?
You're a little too small. You can maybe like eat a burger, not be anorexic.
That's aggressive.
I don't know who you're trying to impress. No one's gonna simp over you.
You joined OnlyFans the night you turned 18?
I think so, yeah.
And people subscribed right away?
Yeah.
Should they be in jail?
Yeah.
And what do you do on OnlyFans?
I don't know. It's a surprise.
OnlyFans basically destroyed me, and it really damaged and broken me on the inside. And getting myself involved in something so dark, and it was something that it was hard for me to get out of. I was selling my soul, and I kept digging myself in a deeper hole.
Okay, so today we're asking people, is social media ruining relationships? And OnlyFans?
I think it's a nightmare, OnlyFans, because it's so accessible, and a lot of young girls, my daughter's age, are getting into it as a I don't know whether you call it a career or not. I mean, I thought OnlyFans was taking pictures of you in underwear. I remember when I was a young girl, they used to have a thing called FHM, which was just basically a picture of you in a magazine. That was scrapped, but now girls are able to go onto the internet and put very pornographic stuff on there.
Yeah.
And some girls are sending it to guys for free. So men don't need to work at a relationship. They don't need to try. There's Tinder. They can just swipe. They just don't need to work or put effort into anything. And they think these days they can just have what they want when they want.
Instant like gratification.
Yeah.
Do you think marriages will even be a thing in 10 years' time?
Probably not. I'm a woman in nearly 50, and I've lived on my own for a long time. I don't really want to be in a relationship, and I think a lot of women are feeling that way now. But that is probably because we can just go out on a date with a guy if we want one. But you're not getting that wholesome love that you should be getting. But would I trust a man? Have I been in relationships where men have swiped? Yeah.
That's the world that we're in, unfortunately. We are in you just said it, a swipe world. And that's why I'm asking the question, because I think the reality is I don't know if relationships, especially like marriages and stuff like that, last with the way social media is going. But it was an awesome answer. Thanks so much. Thank you.
A model who spent her life trying to look like Kim Kardashian has died after recovering from her latest procedure. OnlyFans model Ashton died of a heart attack after a round of plastic surgery. A fundraising page for her funeral has been set up.
This is interesting segment because we really go into the intelligence that these OnlyFans really do have. And a lot of times people want to say, you know, the richest ones, they're the most smartest one, the most intelligent ones. But then we have to look at, how did you make your funding? How did you make that money? And then we can accurately really see the value behind it and how you gained it. And then that gives us a better perspective on how intelligent you are. Because these OnlyFans models, they lack every type of intelligence, to me. Because if you did have some type of intelligence, you wouldn't be there. That wouldn't be your option. And it also shows the lack of work ethic you have to push yourself to actually get what you want. And OnlyFans is accessible because Just the same way corn is easily accessible, females have become easily accessible. And this older female, when she's saying what she's saying, it's really the females have become easy. They've become very easy and very accessible, and men can not only just buy their way into their coochie, but buy their way to see what that coochie does. So most of the times, you don't even need to actually experience the coochie to see the coochie. You just have to pay for it. Just like you have to pay for dates these days, you pay for OnlyFans. So what we're seeing is females lack intelligence and just become easily accessible to the point where men don't have to do anything anymore. And this is why marriage rates have massively decreased. Because not only do more females become 304s and corn stars on an online site with no real contract, no real agency, they just put themselves out there to get quick cash. But it tells you a lot about this generation and where they are intellectually. It tells you a lot why, as a society, we're actually falling apart, because we don't have people that are working on things that really matter anymore. You know, we don't have people that want to be motivated and do something with themselves. It's all about how much money you can make and how easy you can get it. To the point that you also will have a OnlyFans model who will go to do plastic surgery until he meets her deathbed. As you probably heard, a OnlyFans model, Christina Ashton, had passed away at 34, and she died of a cardiac arrest on April the 20th. What you're seeing is this generation is not only IQs are falling, but body disorders are increasing, eating disorders are increasing, mental illness are increasing, because this is the product of it. You know, I've said this before in another video about another woman that also did die because of BBL procedures. But this is mental illness. And this is what modern females are promoting. When you see anyone, rappers, influencers, OnlyFans, do BBLs, that's a body disorder. They're struggling to not only accept themselves, but they're craving for society validation from the top % men. They're the biggest pick-me's, and you know, it sounds harsh to say, but we really need to look at things critically, because modern females don't want to do that. They want to sugarcoat things, and this is why the younger generation are going to end up worse, because no one wants to tell them what it is. No one wants to tell them this is what's happening. Every single day we have more females who are mentally ill, and this is how she ended up passing away. And not once does anyone want to talk about the effects that BBL has on you mentally and psychologically. And what type of mental issues are you going to go under a knife to just change your body for a male validation? You know, females, they pride themselves in therapy and healing yourself. But when it comes to the most important things that are actually affecting females every single day and becoming worse, no one wants to talk about it. Everyone wants to make it seem as if it's a choice and it's normal when it's not. And this is the problem with this society. We can talk about body counts, we can talk about being on the streets, but now we really need to look at what's going on in your mind and the choices that you're making, and what is it really doing to you and your life. And this is it. No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to talk about these gym rats going through their own disorders mentally, doing all they can to get a big rack. No one wants to talk about how she went to go look like another celebrity, and how psychologically she's actually going through her own identity crisis, and she should have been in therapy. That's where she should have been at. She should have been on a healing journey to accept who she is and how she looks, and maybe get on a healthier path to accepting that you ain't Kim Kardashian. You ain't gonna look like Kim Kardashian. You ain't gonna have Kim Kardashian body, Kim Kardashian money. And that's the problem. Females lack accountability, and this is where it takes them. And it's only going to get worse. This is the problem, is no one wants to talk about how a good 75% of modern females have mental disorders. You see, this is what happens when you live in delusion. You become sick mentally. No one wants to talk about this. How this generation really is going through their own identity crisis. And because of the lack of accountability, we have a generation where they're mentally ill, and no one wants to talk about it, and no one wants to do anything about it. And that is a whole other ongoing problem that needs to be solved. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.